of a twin bill today here in Norman. Enzo Apodaca, .335 batting average, the leadoff man for Baylor. And the first pitch of this one is lined into left field, but there is Kendall Pettis to make the running catch. And there's one away. A veteran left fielder for Oklahoma out of Chicago, Kendall Pettis.
Really good positioning right there. He's about 10 steps forward as he would normally play the left field position. It's a good scouting report by Reggie Willits. One pitch, one out.
Center fielder Ty Johnson had a good night here last night. 3 hits, 2 doubles. He had a couple of runs batted in. And he looks at a first pitch strike. 95 on the radar gun for Kyson Witherspoon. Witherspoon started the year in the bullpen, but about midway through the season, it was unavoidable. He was so good, and the Sooners seeking some answers in the weekend rotation beyond Braden Davis. Skip Johnson made the call, moved Kyson Witherspoon into the weekend rotation, and he has never moved since. The 0-2 to Johnson. Lined back up the middle, and it got by Anthony McKenzie for a base hit. It's the 4th hit of the series for Ty Johnson.
Yeah, gets a fastball elevated right here. Nice job. That thing's at his shoulders. That bat path is quick and efficient. Shoots it right back up the box.
Well, Baylor got out to a quick start last night. 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second. Against the back-to-back Big 12 pitcher of the week, Braden Davis. Jumped out to a 6-2 lead, looking for another quick start here today as Cole Posey digs in, and he takes strike 1. There's a slider from Witherspoon. Posey 2 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in last night. Johnson, the best base runner for Baylor. He's got 10 stolen bases. 10 for 12 on the year. The 0-1 is a swing and a miss. Posey, a transfer from the University of New Mexico. Witherspoon, one of 3 transfers Oklahoma picked up this year from Northwest Florida State Junior College. And they have all 3 been huge for this team.
I think the biggest surprise was Mudler, right? The bat that he's brought to the lineup. We know he could catch. We know he could handle a rotation. But the bat has really played well for him.
Yeah, the battery. There's Mudler, the catcher and the starting pitcher today. And, of course, Kyson's twin brother, all from that small junior college in the state of Florida. Outside, 2-2 to Posey. Kyson wears the glasses. His brother does not. Other than that, good luck trying to tell them apart if you see him on the street. The difference on the mound is the breaking ball that they throw, but they both have electric fastballs. 2-2 pitch coming to the first baseman. And that's a fly ball into center field. Routine out there for John Spikerman. And there's 2 away. That'll bring Daniel Altman up. Left-handed hitting second baseman for Baylor. Bears just looking for some way to get back in the Big 12 win column. They were sitting pretty about 3 weekends ago. 2 games above 500 in conference play, but they have since lost 9 consecutive Big 12 games coming into today. And are now fighting for their Big 12 tourney lives. As Altman takes a ball inside. Baylor in 11th place. And only the top 10 teams make it to Arlington. Altman 0 for 2 with a walk last night. And he takes a fastball high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Bears still with an opportunity, though, to track down either Texas Tech or UCF. Both of those teams within striking distance, but they need wins. That's hit hard into the right field corner. Madron will chase it all the way to the wall. The fleet-footed Johnson into third. He'll get the wave home. Here's the relay to the plate, and he is safe. And Baylor, just like last night, strikes first in the first inning. An RBI double for Altman.
It's going to be a 2-0 fastball. Down and into lefty Altman. Goes down and gets it. Let's see the throw by J-Nick here. Kind of handcuffs Scott Mudler behind the dish. Need that throw to be a little bit up the line to have a play there.
So 1-0 Baylor. Hunter Toplansky now. Switch hitting third baseman, 0 for 3 in game 1. First pitch swinging, high fly ball. That's well hit back into right field. Madron back to the warning track. Made the catch, got a little hairy late looking up into the sun, but he hung on.
As coaches, we want to live that legacy on. He was really thrilled to celebrate him today, guys. Just such a special day for his family.
Thank you, Carly. Really is a special day. A great man, and still such a large shadow he casts over this OU baseball program in a good way. Enos Seymour, great to see him forever honored here in Norman.
Yeah, it's good to have him around the program. I remember when I was playing, he'd come into the cages. He's always wearing his cowboy hat. He'd come in, sit down, watch guys hitting. You know, you could go and chat him up a little bit. Very approachable, successful as well. It's an honor.
And very instrumental in getting this building built. Mitchell Park, add that to his legacy. The Sooners, like last night, try to climb from behind here in game 2 of the series. First pitch swinging, lined into center field by John Spikerman, but caught by Ty Johnson, and there's one away.
It's a good swing by Spike. Fastball at 88, middle, first pitch of the game.
Here's a look at the Sooner batting order today. It's brought to you by Norman Regional. Pretty familiar at this point. One exception, Jackson Willett's not in the lineup today at shortstop. I would expect he'll be in game 2. That Isaiah Lane getting the start at third base today. Anthony McKenzie is playing shortstop. Madron, pretty much like everybody in the lineup, had a big opener last night as he takes a ball. 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in. He scored 4 runs. He leads the Big 12 in that category. Madron has now scored 62 runs this year. 2 balls and a strike. He also leads the team in homers with 10.
I think he might have got robbed of a homer last night. First inning, kind of clips one to left field. Normal day at L. Dale, it's over by 10 feet. Left fielder Bergman made a nice play, knocking it down, keeping it in play.
1 of 4 Sooners now with 40-plus runs batted in on the year. This offense has been dynamic for Oklahoma here in 2024. Sharply hit, but to the second baseman, Altman. And the throw a little bit wide, but Posey keeps a foot on the bag for out number 2. Well, Ethan Calder, this is an interesting story, getting the start for Mitch Thompson today. He's been their bullpen mainstay this year. Been so good for him, though, like we said with Witherspoon midway through the season. Baylor needing to move Calder into the rotation after he went 6 2/3 outstanding innings in relief against TCU last Saturday. So just his second start of the year. They really need him to be good, Blake, and they need him to give him some length today.
Absolutely. You get in that bullpen early in a doubleheader, it only gives you fits. The Baylor Bears play a really good defensive game. They've turned 44 double plays. I think that leads the Big 12, maybe 13th nationally. They play really good defense. The question is, have they been able to score runs?
Here's what you'll see Calder throw. Fastball, a lot of change-ups, and a good slider as well.
And that's tough as a hitter. You got a really decent mix across, 41% fastball, 30% changeup. That's hard to decept.
Base hit for Carmichael. And the Sooners have their first base runner of the day. Carmichael drove in 5 runs last night.
Take another look at this one. Fastball, middle, little hook barrel through the 6-hole. He can really swing it.
Michael Snyder now with 2 away. First baseman, 3 for 4 last night with a couple of runs driven in. He leads the team in that RBI category. He's got 50 of them on the year. Transfer from the University of Washington. And he looks at a ball low. Baylor shifting him 3 to the left side of the infield here. And with first baseman Cole Posey holding on Easton Carmichael, you see there the entire right side of the infield open. Pulled foul. There's a good look at the big first baseman. Been a great pickup for Skip Johnson's team this year. It's like Easton Carmichael couldn't decide whether to slide or not on that one. He did a bit of a crab crawl back to the plate, or back to the bag.
I like both of these uni combinations. That big yellow Baylor across the chest. 2 really good looks.
It's close. Today will be the last time Oklahoma and Baylor meet for who knows how long. Strike called. Potential they could meet in Arlington next week, but if not, with the Sooners heading off to the SEC, these 2 old rivals, might be a while before they meet on the diamond again. 1-2, just a bit low. Calder wanted it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 5th doubleheader this year for Oklahoma, and all 5 have been at home. And only 1 of them was scheduled. That was Wright State, the opening home weekend of the year. That one was planned. Sooners won both games of that series, that doubleheader. But Mother Nature has forced now 4 Big 12 home doubleheaders. Runner goes, and that's lined through that hole on the right side. And Carmichael will get to third. Back-to-back 2-out hits. Michael Snyder said, "You're going to leave the right side of the infield open, I'll take it."
Now, he's a very balanced hitter. He's been doing that all year. He's been able to elevate backside. He'll do this right here. A little change up, down, and away. Stays in his legs. Shoots the 4-hole. Little hit-and-run action. 2 outs.
Anthony McKenzie now, just wrapping up the point on the doubleheaders. You mentioned this off the top, but when you think doubleheaders, the most frequent outcome is the split. It is really hard to sweep a doubleheader. McKenzie takes the ball high. But the Sooners haven't been involved in a split all year. They swept Wright State. They swept UCF in a doubleheader. They were swept by West Virginia, and 2 weekends ago swept here by Texas in a doubleheader in a little bit of a controversial manner. 2-0 the count to McKenzie. So we'll see what today holds for us. We're going to play 2. McKenzie trying to tie the game up or more here. Sooners down a run in the bottom of the first. And a fly ball to center field. And the Sooners strand a pair. We head to the second. Game 1 of 2 today. Bears up a run.
Sooners left 11 on base last night. Could have been a lot worse than 19 runs. But on the flip side, play discipline for Oklahoma. Kind of going with the same storyline. They did a really good job of finding ways to take advantage of walks, free passes, hit by pitches. It's going to be fun.
Keys to the game brought to you by the Riverwind Casino. Zach Mazak will lead off the second. DH for Baylor in this one. He was 0 for 1 last night. And he swings and misses. That looked like that changeup you've been telling us about.
Yeah, when he can throw it to a left-handed hitter for a strike, and I think that was a little bit expanded, he can be very deceptive.
The 0-1. If Kyson Witherspoon could get good command of that pitch to go with the fastball and slider that he has that are elite, this kid could be something else.
Yeah, you're looking at a first-rounder.
Outside with a breaking ball there, 1-2. If you're looking ahead to 2025, you're probably looking at this guy being your Friday night guy for Oklahoma. So offseason will be probably in a large part trying to master that changeup. 2-1 is hit hard into center field. Ranging back and making the play is John Spikerman for out number 1.
And if you're at home trying to work on a changeup or maybe even a curveball, the best thing to do is play long toss with it. You know, get outside your comfort zone. Everything that you do as a pitcher is within 60 feet, 6 inches. If you try to expand that out, you get more feel for it. You know how to throw it. You can throw it hard. It gives you a better discipline of how you need to release it.
Good tip. Cortland Castle comes up empty on his first swing.
Yeah, it's coming from an outfielder, by the way.
No, I like that. Bears catcher here, 282 average on the year, 0 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in the opener. And the breaking ball makes it 0-2. It has been an injury-riddled year for Baylor. Very unfortunate in that regard. That's pulled to third. Lane, long throw, takes him off the bag, and the ball pops out of the glove of Snyder. And Castle's going to get all the way to second. That'll be an error. The throw by Lane was up the line. And Snyder on the tag attempt lost the baseball.
Deep in the 5 hole. It's a really good pick with the glove. Had to get it off quick. I think the timing of the runner and Snyder trying to make that catch was just right on.
Similar occurrence last week in tag attempt down the line. The ball goes jarred loose. First pitch swinging. Tyreek Kemp sends one into left center field. Again, Spikerman. He's been busy early. Out number 2. And we mentioned all the injuries for Baylor this year. It has been overwhelming. Some of these were in the preseason. Hunter Simmons was in the first week of the year, as was Gavin Brzezowski. There's been way too many collisions with outfield walls that have caused season-ending injuries. Not listed there. They are still without Wesley Jordan, who is their leading hitter on the year. Swing and a miss. He was hit in the head by a pitch at West Virginia a couple of weeks ago. Is expected back at some point, but not yet. It is hard to contend in any conference, much less the Big 12, if you're that many men down. There's some key guys on that graphic there, Blake.
For me, there's been some surprising ones, too, as well. Cole Posey having a great year, 320. Wasn't normally a first baseman. Made the switch over there, does a nice job. He's athletic with his hands and found himself in the starting lineup.
I think we got a pitch clock situation here. Second base umpire, it looked to me, tagged a ball on Witherspoon. Skip Johnson out to discuss this. Well, he is animated. This is an animated early conversation. We got a lot of baseball to play today.
If I can read lips, I think he was talking about missing 2 balks. Did you see those?
I think he said something about yesterday. The second base umpire is Clay Park, who was at third base yesterday. So an automatic ball on the pitch clock violation has been given to Witherspoon, which makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike now. 2 outs, runner at second for Baylor. And the pitch misses low. Contentious early with still about 8 hours of baseball to go, Blake. This could be fun today.
We might be in for a long one.
The error, by the way, was given to Isaiah Lane at third base. That allowed Cortland Castle to get all the way around to second. 3-1 the count now. Caleb Bergman, 2 for 4 last night. Bears 9-hole hitter and left fielder. And he takes ball 4. First walk of the day issued by Witherspoon. And the Bears have a pair of base runners for their leadoff man, Enzo Apodaca. Apodaca hacking at the first pitch of the game. Lined one into left field that was caught. Dangerous hitter here. But he's 0 for 5 in the series so far. There you see the Gonzaga transfer. The Sooners played this guy last year up in Spokane in a late season non-conference series. Oklahoma went to play Gonzaga for 3 games, and Apodaca hit a home run against him. In fact, he had 4 hits in that series, a double and a homer. Was a freshman All-American with the Zags. Transferred down to Waco this year, and now Skip Johnson out to try to get his right-hander back on track, who has lost sense of the strike zone here in the second inning.
Yeah, I think the heart rate's up just a hair. Maybe trying to be too fine with the fastball. Had a slider down this first pitch to Apodaca. Just trying to get him settled back in.
Seventh-year head coach of the Sooners, Skip Johnson. His team with a lot to play for here late in the season. Seeking their first ever regular season Big 12 title. A share of which could come today. Maybe next week in Cincinnati if they could get it done. They are right now predicted to be a regional host. But a lot of baseball still to play before that bracket is revealed on Memorial Day. Oklahoma has not hosted a regional here at L. Dale Mitchell Park since 2010. 3 balls and no strikes to Apodaca. And he walked him on 4 pitches to load the bases. And a big early at-bat in this game here. Ty Johnson has been the Bears' best hitter in this series. He's 4 for 6. He singled and scored his first time up in this one. And a chance to give Baylor a sizable early lead in this one. First pitch to Johnson, swing and a miss. Junior out of Flower Mound, Texas, McLennan Junior College product. Came with head coach Mitch Thompson across town there in Waco. The 0-1. Lifted into right. Madron. And Kyson Witherspoon leaves him loaded. We head to the bottom of the second, and Norman 1-0 Bears.
His entire collegiate career. On Thursday, before the Incarnate Word Series, Coach Thompson was trying to see if Posey could play the position. He was taking ground balls, trying to turn double plays, and just catch the ball at first base. Well, during the series, his teammates Mason Greer and Will Pendergrass, who were playing first the majority of the season, started coaching Posey up and giving him feedback. Guys, Coach Thompson has some really selfless players. You don't see that everywhere. They're a tight-knit group who pushes each other to be the best.
Thank you, Carly. Good stuff. That's what you like to see right there, Blake. Yeah, guy might be taking your playing time, and you're helping him out anyway.
I think we saw that on the Sooner side as well. It's really cool what you get when you get into a locker room with a bunch of guys. As Nicholas flies this one to the right.
Apodaca brings it in front of the right field wall. Wind blowing out a little bit today. It was blowing in last night. Certainly we've seen days with stronger winds than today, but you'll get a little carry, especially out to left field today as it's starting to pick up a bit. We did not have any home runs hit in game one despite the 19-7 score, but we're not getting out of here in a doubleheader today without some bombs. Not the way the wind's blowing out. Here's Pettis. KP, as they affectionately call him here in Norman, did not play in the opener. Takes a strike, 1-1. Senior out of Chicago, hitting .253 this year. 3 home runs. 2 balls and a strike. Heartbeat of this baseball team right there, number 7. He was a part of that magical run to Omaha 2 years ago. He is a highlight reel in left field. Flies to Apodaca in right. And there's 2 away. Ethan Calder gave up the back-to-back hits to Carmichael and Snyder in the first, but has held the Sooners down so far. Here's Mudler with 2 outs.
He's done a good job of mixing his pitches. You saw earlier in that graphic, it's a heavy mix. As a hitter, it's hard to find out what's coming next when you locate everything like that.
The 0-1 to Mudler. Pop foul. No balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Colin McKinney getting the start in the back half of the doubleheader for Baylor tonight. Sooners are officially TBA for Game 3, starting pitcher-wise. Last week they were also TBA for Game 3 and went with Carson Atwood, so there's a possibility of who it might be. Potential answer there. The 1-2 to Mudler. Grounded to shortstop. Kemp's got it. And the Sooners go in order in the second. We head to the third. 1-0 Baylor in front at Mitchell Park.
Savings. Download and save today.
Sooners looking on, down a run as we head to the third inning. Game 1 of a doubleheader today here in Norman. And Cole Posey will lead off for the Bears against Kyson Witherspoon. What do you think of Kyson so far today, Blake?
Other than just a little bit rattled, he found the zone with 2 pitches. That changeup once for a strike that I've seen. Look for him to settle in, get ahead with a first pitch strike.
Misses inside. Kyson's a big strikeout pitcher. Last Saturday against Texas Tech, he had no strikeouts through the first 2 innings, just like today. Ended up with 7. He kind of got it going as the game went along. Let's see if that starts to kick in for him maybe here in the third inning. He's capable of getting a lot of swings and misses. Ball and a strike to Posey, who flied out to center field his first time up. Oh boy, he's broken a rule there, going under the flags. Hit that foul ball. We got the perpetrator on video. 1-2.
Yeah, a couple of security guards eyeing him.
Oh yeah, he's getting the what for, climbing back up the hill.
No handcuffs. We're
good.
good.
No, we're going to let him stay, it looks like. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's grounded to shortstop. McKenzie there today. Gobbles, guns, got him. 1 out. Daniel Altman responsible for the lone run in this game so far with an RBI double in the first. Sooners have been good at home, but better on the road this year. Oklahoma 16-10 here at Mitchell Park. That's not bad, but they're 12-4 on the road. That one sails all the way to the backstop. They've only lost 2 Big 12 games on the road all year. Baylor has had a harder time winning away from Waco, just 5-13 this year away from the friendly confines. 2-0 the count. There's a good look at Daniel Altman. Picked up his 32nd run, batted in the first inning. And he's ahead in the count here, 3 balls and no strikes. Everything's been upstairs.
It seems like a little bit late on the release point. Look for him to land, get out front, get extended.
4-pitch walk. Again, upstairs. That's the 3rd walk issued by Kyson Witherspoon. A 1-out base runner. Hunter Toplansky, 0 for 1. Toplansky had a streak of 9 consecutive plate appearances, reaching base. Snapped last night. It's hard to do. He had 8 in a row coming into Norman, and he walked his first at-bat last night. He's 0 for 4, though, in the series. And the throw to first base sends Altman diving back in. Here's the 0-1. Foul back. It's a nice day. It's overcast enough that the sun's not cooking you. A little bit of a breeze to keep you cool. Perfect day to play a couple of baseball games.
You got a nephew here today, don't you?
I do, yeah. Jet Johnson in the crowd today with his entire Little League baseball team. Toward the left side of the infield, Lane will go to second. They get the lead runner, and that's all they'll get. 2 away.
This was kind of sawed off by Toplansky. Nice job with Isaiah Lane just taking the easy out. Toplansky runs well. Gets down the line. Yeah, no chance.
So Zach Mazog now with 2 outs, 0 for 1. Flied to center field his first at-bat. That was in the 2nd inning. That was close. You got your Mother's Day situation all wrapped up and everything? You good to go?
Yeah. I think we get a day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get the whole day with them.
Pitches high. Yeah, that was a surprise. A pleasant surprise this morning.
Take it all day.
Got the text message, yeah. That's good for, I don't know if the wives will like it or not. They may have been looking forward to us not being around.
Yeah, mine would kick me out, yeah.
Upstairs again, and Witherspoon continues to struggle above the zone. 2-0 here to Mazog. He left the bases loaded in the 2nd. Able to strand a runner in scoring position back in the 1st and only give up the 1 run. But Baylor's had guys on base against him in every inning so far. Drops that one in there for a strike, 2-1. Into right field, that's rocketed past Madron, all the way to the wall. Toplansky hits the third base bag. He'll get the wave home. Relay to the plate, and got him! Jackson Nicholas, the throw to Scott Mudler. And Baylor, it looks like,
getting it to Mudler, one hopping, using the turf. Let's check this out. Strong throwers.
Call is indeed out. Inning over. Big-time defensive play by the Sooners keeps it a one-run game. Madron. Field berms here as well. Those are free seats. Bring your pop-up chair and a cooler and the beverage of your choice. Maybe bring the dog with you to the park. You can watch some Sooner baseball on a Saturday afternoon as freshman Isaiah Lane leads off. Sooners trying to decipher Ethan Calder. Strike called. 0-2. Lane in the 9-hole. 298 average this year. 5 runs batted in. Trying to get aboard with Spikerman and Madron waiting in the wings. Here's the 1-2. Shallow center field. Got a chance to drop in, and it will. Plops it out there just south of the big OU logo for a leadoff single. Third hit of the game for Oklahoma.
Yeah, buck this up, you'll take a dozen. You get beat on the slider in. But off the bat, you know it's a hit. You're like, that's no man's land. Good hit for the freshman. Boosts the average up over 300.
Spikerman lined one into center field his first at-bat. Shows bunt, lays it down. First base side. Calder throws out Spikerman, and on to second goes Lane. That'll work as a sacrifice. He had bigger intentions than that. But the tying run is moved into scoring position now for Bryce Madron.
Yeah, when you're pushing down the first base line, you want to try to get it in the triangle. You want to try to put that ball into the second baseman's hands. You got a chance to get to first base. Either way, you move the runner over, less than 2 outs. And a good RBI guy, Bryce Madron.
Blanchard, Oklahoma, the former Savannah Banana, Bryce Madron. He's been a Big 12 Player of the Week this year. Takes it low and outside. Got a good chance for some postseason Big 12 honors. Outstanding season, hitting above 300, 10 homers, 40-plus runs batted in. Probably doesn't get the credit he deserves as an outfielder either. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Spikerman and Jason Walk and Kendall Pettis, they end up on SportsCenter, but when Madron runs everything down out there in right.
I think it's because you don't hear of him. He just makes every play that he should, half the ones he shouldn't, right?
And 3-1 the count. He's very patient, too. Draws a ton of walks. 37 of them on the year. That also paces the team. Left on left, the 3-1 from Calder is in there for strike 2 called. Easton Carmichael on deck. 1 out here in the third. Into left, Bergman. And there's 2 away. Going to take a 2-out hit now from Easton Carmichael. Singled his first time up. Sooners will head to the Queen City of Cincinnati for the final week of the regular season next week for 4 games. Oklahoma scheduled to play Xavier on Tuesday afternoon. And then Cincinnati Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Up the middle, but played perfectly by Altman. And the inning is over. A leadoff single goes for naught. 3 in the books here in game 1 in Norman. It's 1-0 Baylor. Toby Rowland and Blake Brewster back with you here in Norman. 4th inning time. There's the Piedmont Wildcats in the house today. 1-0 Baylor in front. 7-9 due up for the Bears, starting with the catcher Cortland Castle. Reached on an error his first at-bat. First pitch swinging, pulled foul. .282 batting average. the junior from Woodway, Texas. In the dirt, a ball and a strike. Bears hoping for a win today and hoping to see Texas Tech and UCF not win. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. See if they can close the gap for that final spot in Arlington. It's a 10-team tournament this year. It's been 8 for the last many years. And there's the first strikeout of the day for Kyson Witherspoon.
Looked like he found some confidence in this at bat. This is a fastball dotted in the inside corner. Castle not to be able to get the bat to it.
She's out already. 4th inning, game 1, already napping.
I'm envious.
Here's Kemp. 0 for 1 with a fly out, takes a strike. In the past, with a 9-team baseball league, 1 didn't make it, 8 did. Now you got 13 baseball teams this year in the Big 12. So a little different looking bracket. It's quite convoluted. I encourage you to go to the Big 12 website and check it out. It's interesting. Top 2 seeds get a bye on day 1. Bottom 3 teams don't make it. So if you finish 11, 12, or 13, you're out. Pulled to first. Snyder's there. And there's 2 away. It's a double elimination tournament until the semifinals. And the semifinals and championship winner advances or takes the trophy. And that is about a week and a half away now. Here's Bergman. 2 outs, nobody on. He walked his first AB. It is also senior day here in Norman. Seniors will be honored between games, so we'll have a little longer break than we would normally have. Normally it's about a 45-minute break. We're well accustomed to them now, the 5th doubleheader of the year, but I think we're going to have about an hour and 10 minutes between games today. For you're watching at home, an opportunity to go throw a steak on the grill or something. Here's the 1-1. Hit hard into left. That'll be a base hit for Bergman. The 4th hit of the game for Baylor. And Bergman on for his 2nd time today.
Or gets a fastball, middle. It's where I think they might be able to eliminate a pitch or 2 when he can't locate them all. He went slider down, slider for a strike, kind of get me over, and just waiting on that fastball. Gets to it. That thing was like 104 off the bat.
Apodaca, 0 for 1 with a walk. And he takes a slider in at his toes for ball 1. Second toughest strikeout in the Big 12 here. Apodaca. 1 out of just over every 11 at bats. Takes that high and inside. Mudler popped up as if he was going to throw down behind Bergman, but lost the baseball. 2-0.
This would be a good spot for a changeup. 2-1. Located away. I don't think you're going to strike this guy out. Get a ground ball.
Bergman dives back in safely. Two balls and a strike to the right fielder. Leadoff man Enzo Apodaca. Runner goes. Pitch is taken. Throw to second by Mudler. Tag to the foot. Out is the call, and the ball pops out of the glove of McKenzie. And now second base umpire Clay Park is going to ask for some assistance from his fellow umpires here. The tag was to the foot of the sliding Bergman. And the original call was out, but did McKenzie hang on to the baseball long enough?
This is different. It's not a transfer rule. You know, they have sometimes you drop the ball in a double play transfer.
Safe is now the call. They've changed the call. And now Skip Johnson, I'm sure, is going to want to hear an explanation here. Let's take another look.
Really athletic play.
Ball. And now 3 balls and a strike. Home plate umpire Matthew Anderson making sure everybody understands the count. 3-1. Bergman at second with the stolen base and in scoring position here. Got his 4th stolen base of the year. Apodaca grounds it to first. Race to the bag, won by Snyder, inning over. Well, Kyson Witherspoon, maybe not his A game today, but he keeps getting himself out of chance. Not my nephew, but that is the right team. So we'll challenge the camera crew to keep looking for young Jet Johnson today.
You seen him play?
Here's Michael Snyder, star first baseman. It's it's just a matter of time until the offers and NIL start rolling in.
You gonna be his agent?
Absolutely. Snyder 1 for 1 today, takes a breaking ball strike. What do you think of Ethan Calder so far, the Baylor starter?
Yeah, not overpowering, but he's locating everything very well, mixing it up with a changeup, slider to righties into that back foot. Just kind of puzzling the Sooner hitters.
A ball and a strike. He has given up 3 hits, all singles. No strikeouts, no walks. And he misses high and away. 2-1 to Snyder. Snyder, McKenzie, Nicholas due up here in the 4th. Got a pitcher's duel in the opener. The opposite of last night. Runs were flying all over the place in game 1. 3-1 the count. Nine home runs on the year. He hit one on Sunday in Lubbock to clinch that sweep over the Red Raiders. And he hits that ball hard into center field, but Ty Johnson will get there on the edge of the warning track to haul it in for out number 1. Gave it a ride. Anthony McKenzie now. A-Mac 0 for 1 in the game. Senior out of Houston. Sam Houston State transfer a year ago. Hit hard to short. Kemp throws a little high, but Posey keeps the foot on the ground, and there's 2 away. That is 5 in a row put down by Calder since the Isaiah Lane bloop single to start the 3rd.
He's not missing barrels. Just got guys right there. Pitching into his defensive setup. Credit head coach Mitch Thompson.
No, that's not him. Good try, though. That guy was serious about that pretzel.
Like salt on your pretzels?
I do. You?
Yeah, man. Mustard,
salt,
too.
Little cheese or mustard. I can go mustard. Fly ball into center field. Calder just keeps rolling down the tracks. Quick 4th inning. 1-2-3 goes Oklahoma. We march on to the 5th. 1-0 Baylor on Saturday. But he might not need it. That is a good-looking kid right there. My sister's son. All right, 1-0 Baylor as we go to the 5th. We'll check back later. I'm sure he'll have nachos.
Boat. I like that.
Ty Johnson leading off. And Kyson Witherspoon bounces it. One for 2 on the day. 4 for 7 in the series. The Baylor center fielder. He homered Tuesday against Tarleton State, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Here's what's left for Baylor in the regular season. They'll take a midweek game to TCU, and then they get UCF at home next weekend, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3-0 the count here. And that could be huge. Right now, UCF sitting on 11 conference wins, Baylor 9. If they could be within striking distance, Baylor would have an opportunity on their home field to play their way into the Big 12 tournament. Strike called, 3-1.
Yeah, you find a way to get one here today. Go home against a kind of iffy UCF team. I think we saw a different team than they've been playing throughout the year.
Yeah, they're on the NCAA bubble, too. Grounded up the middle. McKenzie at shortstop. And there's one out. In my opinion, you've got 4 teams in the Big 12 that can feel pretty good about things as far as postseason goes. OU, OSU, Texas, and West Virginia. And then you got a whole slew of teams that are either barely on or off the bubble right now, or on the right side or wrong side of it. And UCF would definitely fall into that category, along with Cincinnati and Kansas State, and TCU, Kansas, Texas Tech. Grounded to third. Lane, 2 away. Here's a look at what the Sooners have remaining. After today, all on the road at Xavier, another bubble team, by the way, on Tuesday, and then Cincinnati, another bubble team, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All 4 of those games next week, day games, if you're a Sooner fan. The Tuesday game will be a 3 o'clock Central Time start, and then Thursday at 4, Friday at 4, Saturday 11 a.m. now in Cincinnati.
That series could be big for the Sooners as well. You don't find yourself with a sweep today. You go to Cincinnati against a really good Bearcat team.
That's right. Big 12 title implications may very well be hanging in the balance for OU, either for a share or for the outright title. And we mentioned Cincinnati playing for a potential at-large bid, and they've been very good at home. So that'll be a spirited series. I know the Reds are out of town next week, so all attention will be on the Bearcats in the Queen City. A ball and a strike.
You look at Oklahoma State, and you got to think they're going to go to Houston, possibly have a really good chance at a sweep. If you're trying to win this thing, you got to take care of business today and go get at least 2 from Cincinnati, if not a sweep.
Yeah, the Cowboys have 2 home games with Texas Tech remaining this weekend, and then they close, as Blake mentioned, at Houston. Texas in Orlando, they won game 1 against UCF last night. 2 more remaining with them. 3-1 the count here. Daniel Altman, he's doubled and walked today. He's been on twice against Witherspoon. And he's on again. That is the 4th walk for Kyson Witherspoon. And he'll face Toplansky now with 2 outs.
Witherspoon not as sharp today. You think he got in a little bit of a rhythm, getting 2 quick outs there, 2 ground balls. Loses release point again to a 3-1 count. Ends up throwing the 4th one.
Toplansky 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice last time, and he was the one thrown out at home on the relay. Fouls the first pitch back. Baylor's had chances to widen this lead. They scored their run in the first inning today. And they've had multiple opportunities to make it more than a 1-run game. Strike called. Bears have left 6 men on base through the first 4, including leaving the bases loaded back in the 2nd. Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece. Sooner fans looking for something to get them fired up for so far today. Ethan Calder has kept the powerful OU offense at bay. 2 outs, the 0-2 again. Hit hard, left center field. That's headed for the alley, but Spikerman runs it down. And the inning is over, and the Oklahoma defense saves the day yet again. That's Mom right there on the right. Not mine, a Mom. Look at that. Look at that youngster.
Good looking, man.
Pettis shows bunt, takes it inside a ball. Yeah, Mitchell Park just waiting for something to get excited about so far today. They put up 19 runs last night. Nothing yet. Here in game 1 of a doubleheader today. 1-1 the count to Pettis. KP 0 for 1. He flied out to right his first at bat. Two balls and a strike. How about that running grab by Spikerman? That looked like it was a definite double when it left the bat. He never left his feet. This guy glides underneath a baseball.
Just like a gazelle out there. And he was shaded to the left side of the O. But still, that's a tough play for any center fielder, and he just makes it look easy. If I was there, it would have dropped.
Calder has not issued a walk today, but now he has. Leadoff walk to Pettis. And speed aboard to start the bottom of the 5th.
Keep an eye on this, Toby. Castle did a really good job in the run game last night. I thought Mary had kept guys at bay up first base. Kind of halts what Reggie Willie wants to do with the offense. Maybe see a sack bunt here from Mudler, get a runner in scoring position.
52 pitches so far for Ethan Calder today, who has been used almost exclusively out of the bullpen this year. So keep an eye on that as he misses low to Mudler. 0 for 1 with a ground out for the Sooner catcher. And that will draw a visit to the mound. James Leverton, the Baylor pitching coach, who may be asking just what we brought up. How you feeling? Where's the gas tank sitting at right now? Nobody throwing yet down in the pen for Baylor. .53 pitches so far, 31 for strikes. Calder threw 82 pitches, though, in that relief outing against TCU last Saturday. That's the farthest he's gone. 1-0, 2-0. Did not issue a walk in that 6 2/3 innings to the Horned Frogs. So that walk to Pettis, the first he's had in his last 2 outings. It's the 2-0 instead of throw to first. Pettis has now passed 2 of his coaches on the all-time steals list at OU. He's got 56 career stolen bases. Throw to first. Right there to the right, you see Todd Butler, the first base coach. He passed him at 54, and then he got Reggie Willits at 55. Strike called, 2-1 to Mudler.
I think he's holding that over their head. I would.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Pettis lets him know about it every day, and I'm sure Reggie and Todd both say, yeah, but how long you been here?
Aren't you 35?
How many seasons did it take you to catch us?
Right.
Strike called again, 2-2 to Mudler. Todd Butler still has the single season OU stolen base record. Flip throw to first. Isaiah Lane on deck, top of the order after him. Sooners trying to get this thing back even, down a run. And another throw to first. Pettis stumbled a bit on his dive back, but he got back in safely.
Really good job in the run game. If you're going to go off this lefty, you're going to go off first move, just
there
like
he goes.
that.
And it's hammered but foul as Mudler turns on one. And Pettis going to have to go back. Now, Scott Butler's had a knack for coming up with the clutch hit this year. And he lines a single into center field here. Pettis going to try for third, and he'll get there, and they're on the corners with nobody out. Bottom of the order coming through for OU here in the fifth.
Right on cue, Toby. Breaking ball away, does a nice job of staying on this thing. Watch his hands just float through the zone. He knows it off the bat. It's a good piece of hitting right there.
Well, what are you doing here with the freshman third baseman, Isaiah Lane? Sooners have been known to squeeze in a run. It's a squeeze. Here comes Pettis, flip home. He is out. Calder with the flip to Castle. And they get Pettis at home. And a big play in this one. We'll take another look.
It's a good learning moment. If you're going to try to drop this safety squeeze down, you got to get it towards the first base line. Calder does a nice job being athletic, fielding his position. Little glove flip, looking like a middle infielder.
Oof. The Sooners are not going to challenge this. I'd be interested to see. Yep, he got.
That's 2 for Anderson today. He's been on top of him.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on the plays at the plate. You're right. Matthew Anderson, our home plate umpire. No balls and 2 strikes. Spikerman 0 for 1 with a sac bunt on the day. Big time defensive play there by Ethan Calder. Still time to do some damage, though, here in the 5th inning. Mudler at second, Lane at first, 1 out. And big bats coming up here for Oklahoma. Spikerman 3 for 5 last night with a pair of doubles. Lifts that into right center field. Ty Johnson. Mudler will tag and move to third, but there's 2 outs now. Two outs for Bryce Madron. Baseball's a funny game. 26 runs, 26 hits with the Aces on the mound last night. Game 2 today, 1-0 into the 5th. And some great defensive plays both ways in the first half of this game so far. Dangerous bat here for the Sooners. Madron 0 for 2 in the game. 2 for 6 in the series. And a balk is called, and that'll tie the game. A balk is called on Ethan Calder, and we are tied in Norman. And Mitch Thompson wants an explanation, and again it is second base umpire Clay Park.
I'd be curious to see if he rolled through that. Comes set.
It's hard to tell from that. Boy, did you pick up anything there?
Maybe he didn't just completely stop his motion. Maybe that heel didn't stay connected with the ground.
Here comes Lane. The throw is cut off, and the Sooners lead it. Bryce Madron, the 2-out RBI, and it's 2-1 OU. Bryce Madron, his 43rd run batted into the year.
Beats the shift with this one. It's a fastball down the middle, a little bit at the knees. Just out of the reach of Altman. Gives every effort for that.
Altman was way out there in shallow right. Just about a foot too effective. The balk call is this. If the balk hadn't have been called, it would be 1-1 right now. And Lane would probably be at third base. You'd probably have runners on the corners. But as it is, it's 2-1 OU. Carmichael 1 for 2 on the day and another throw to first.
He said 2 balls hard. That single in the first inning. Had a ground ball to the second baseman, Altman, who shaded up the middle. Back in the third.
That's 5 hits now for Oklahoma. They've out-hit them 5-4. Fouled back 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's been solid contact all day. I think it's just been right at people. Hits finally starting to fall through.
Another foul ball out of play by Carmichael. A ball and 2 strikes. What a year this young man has had, by the way. And it has been, we were talking about it on radio last night, remarkably consistent. He's hitting .356. And you really can't think of a period all year where he was in any kind of a slump. He's just been steady Eddie from day one.
I think he does a good job of using the whole field and its power to all fields too, Toby. Being able to drive the ball down the right field line, pull it and backspin it to the pull side. He's very effective. Eliminates balls from strikes.
Last night he had 2 hits. It was his 24th multi-hit game of the year. In game 47, over half the games this year, he has at least 2 hits in. That's absurd. Fouled back. He's got 1 already in this one today. Trying to keep this 5th inning alive with the Sooners now in front by a run.
Thing I like about him, look how much he chokes up on this bat with 2 strikes. That's a good 2 inches. Getting off the knob, finding control of the barrel.
Just got a piece. We talked to him after the game last night. He was one of our stars of the game. He's only a sophomore, but remarkably mature. Obviously, he comes from a big baseball family. His father, Darby, played here at Oklahoma. His brother, Braden, has been a pitcher here for the last several years. Not graduated last year, but he doesn't act like a sophomore. He's a team leader as a sophomore, and he's batted right in the middle of this lineup all season long. Was expected to be the everyday catcher for this team, but is DHing more often than not, with Mudler having played better than expected coming into the year. He's been behind the plate. Well, that one almost got away. But you can just pencil number 2 in the 3 hole, and you can almost guarantee he's going to get you a couple of knocks every night. Swing and a miss. Comes up empty here, and that'll end the inning. But the Sooners push in front. The balk brings home the tying run.
Run to show for it. He's walked 4. The only run coming across on an error by Isaiah Lane in the first inning, but has been effective when he's in the zone. See a breaking ball down there. 1-0.
Pretty good when you don't have your best stuff and you've given up 1 run through 5 innings. But I agree. He doesn't have a 1, 2, 3 inning yet today. He's only got one strikeout, which is very odd for him. He's 1-1 here to Mazak. He has repeatedly, either by his own doing or with the help of his defense, gotten big outs in big moments so far today. That one's to first. Third time today that Michael Snyder waves off any help. Takes it himself for out number 1. Most of the break between half innings there, Mitch Thompson was out bending the ear of home plate umpire Matthew Anderson and second base umpire Clay Park. He's still fuming over the balk call, and he might have a beef. We didn't see anything obvious anyway. Cortland Castle now 0 for 2. Doubleheader here today. If you have not heard yet, we're going to play another one tonight about an hour after the conclusion of this one. Lane at third on 2 hops, 2 outs.
This is how that 5th inning started. 2 quick ground balls. This would be a test right here. See if he can get ahead with strike 1 on Kemp. Something he hadn't been able to do all game.
4th and 5th innings, he got 2 outs. And then the 3rd guy reached against him. Bergman in the 4th singled, Altman in the 5th walked. Kemp waves at 1 for strike 1. Tyreek Kemp 0 for 2 today. This guy's fun to watch at shortstop. He can cover some ground. Shallow center, McKenzie won't get there. And for the 3rd consecutive inning, Baylor puts a man aboard with 2 outs. Just beyond the reach of Anthony McKenzie.
Yeah, fastball down. Kemp does a good job of staying middle. Telling you take that all day. McKenzie knowing Spikerman's deep. Got to take off. Just out of his reach.
Caleb Bergman now. He's been on twice, a walk and a single. Kemp a threat to go, although he only has 3 stolen bases on the year. Well, if you're a Sooner fan, you're scoreboard watching. You don't need to do anything but win. The magic number for Oklahoma is 3. 3 OU wins in these final 5 games. Wins them the outright title. 2 wins at least a share of the title. But they want the whole thing to themselves. But you could get some help with a Texas and Oklahoma State loss. That would also knock the magic number down. Texas underway in Orlando, game 2 of their series. No score in the 3rd inning. And Oklahoma State and Texas Tech will get underway here in about 20 minutes in Stillwater. Runner goes. Mudler's throw to second is not in time. And once again, Baylor with a man in scoring position.
It's a good pitch to run on a slider up at 83. Good jump by Kemp for his 4th stolen base on the year.
Here's the 1-1 to Bergman. Strike called on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitch number 87. Sooner bullpen starting to hop to life as Witherspoon gets closer to that 100 pitch mark. Fly ball. Spikerman, inning over. Witherspoon does it again. He's left 8 men on board today. Bottom 6 weeks at the plate back in the 3rd inning, and then Baylor returns the favor on the squeeze bunt attempt The Sooners able to push across a pair, though. And they lead it 2-1 as we head down to the bottom of the 6th. And Michael Snyder leading off, still facing Ethan Calder on the mound, takes a strike.
I'm still trying to figure out which one was more impressive, the relay or Calder jumping off the mound. And
both good. And home plate umpire Matthew Anderson got the call right in both occasions.
Good baseball, man.
Snyder with one of the Sooner 5 hits. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 of a doubleheader here on this Saturday at Mitchell Park. Pitch number 74 for Calder hangs high, 2-1. Three balls and a strike. He has been the definition of pitch to contact today. Calder 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Swing and a miss. And the payoff is ball 4, down and in. Just like in the 5th, Calder walks the leadoff man in the 6th. And that will likely get the Baylor bullpen busy. Anthony McKenzie now. There you see. Righty and a lefty up. Andrew Petrowski pitched last night. Patrick Hale the other one. Ground ball, nice play at second by Altman. What a double play. No, safe is the call at first. And Baylor, at least the players in the field, urging Mitch Thompson to challenge this call. How about Altman, though? That was slick.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Poetry in motion. We'll get another look at that one.
Looks like Baylor will not challenge.
They'll take it to Altman's glove side. Just spin, throw right on the money. You're not picking him up with your eyes when you're spinning like that. That's just playing the game a lot, getting a lot of reps. Beautiful.
That looked like it was a double play to me. Bears might have, should have challenged that one. As is, 1-on-1 out for Nicholas. And he takes one inside. Oh for 2, couple of flyouts today for the junior from Overland Park, Kansas. Having a great junior year. That was a star as a freshman on that Sooner run to the championship series in Omaha. Dipped a bit in his sophomore campaign, but he has roared back here as a junior. Sitting on 8 home runs right now. Hammered that one foul.
Yeah, I think what happened last year, he was in the 4-hole a lot, putting a lot of pressure on himself to be the same guy he was as a freshman and even amplify that. This year, he's got a lot of boppers around him. Bryce Madron's up. You got Anthony McKenzie, Michael Snyder, Easton Carmichael doing what he's doing. It provides a lot of relief for Jackson Nicholas.
Toward left center, that's got a chance, and it is down. Cut off by Johnson, but into second, Jackson Nicholas with a double. And the Sooners got something cooking here in the 6th. Second and third, 1 out. Good job by Ty Johnson keeping that from getting up the alley, or McKenzie would have scored. But Nicholas gets his 8th double of the year.
That's picture perfect right there. Staying on the backside, getting fully extended out over the plate. Good jump by McKenzie, seeing that ball in the gap early.
Willett's going to call an offensive timeout here. Well, they tried to squeeze the last inning, and it didn't work. You got another good situation to do it here if you want to. A veteran at the plate who handles the bat well, and speed at third.
If KP's going to try this, learn from Lane, just try to get it either into the first baseman's hands or down that first base line a little bit more. Take Calder out of the play.
And Reggie also likes the slash from time to time, too, if the infield squeezing him a bit. So let's see what the offensive Sooner mastermind has cooked up here. McKenzie at third, Nicholas at second, one out. Even with the bag at first and third is Baylor. Pettis squares early, and now here comes Mitch Thompson at the last second. And he might be going to make a change on the mound. Let's see. Usually when Thompson is out, that indicates a change.
Yeah, probably playing matchup here, getting a righty in here. Face KP. It's looking like a chat.
Yeah, so far, no indication, although this might just be a stall tactic. Now, home plate umpire Matthew Anderson out to force the hand of Coach Thompson. And now he makes the point to the bullpen. So that'll be it for Ethan Calder today. Outstanding start. Just his second start of the year, the Baylor left-hander. He was very good, but the Bears go into the bullpen the rest of the way in this one. We'll be back.
One inning, give up one hit, 5 runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. 6'6" junior out of Arlington, Texas. On the year, he's 1-0, 5.96 ERA, 25 and 2/30 innings pitched. Sitting at 26 strikeouts to 20 walks.
He's out of Arlington, and Sooner fans, cover your ears here. But he's a transfer from Lamar. Lamar has become a dirty word around these parts after what they did here in Norman earlier this year. Well, I'm going to need to see another shot of the War Pigs at some point today. That's a fantastic Little League name. I don't know if they drove over from Fayetteville, but look at them. They got the wigs going today and everything. The War Pigs in the house. Pinstripe jerseys. That's great. 2-1 OU, so here we go. How about a lift? Kendall Pettis with 1 out and runners at second and third. He's walked and flied out today. Before they went to the bullpen, he had squared around a bunt against Calder. Let's see if he tries it here against Hale as well. Squares early.
Slash.
Pulls it back. Takes a ball. You were on that one.
Yeah, if you're going to try to lay this bunt down, it's going to be late. Maybe just trying to see if they've got the wheel play on.
Foul tipped, ball and a strike. Did not square on that offering. Inning started with a walk to Snyder. He was replaced at first on the fielder's choice by McKenzie. Jackson Nicholas doubled him to third. 2-1 OU. Here's the 1-1 to Pettis in the dirt. Castle's played a good catcher this weekend.
The Sooners haven't ran on him.
Yep.
Threw a guy out last night.
Not much has gotten by him either. Ripped off of Kemp. Everybody's safe. And it's 3-1 OU. I'm sure that'll be an infield single because even if Kemp comes up with that cleanly, I don't think he's getting Pettis.
Yeah, it's a breaking ball that's a little bit up in the zone. Veteran guy at the plate, just playing pepper with the infield. Everybody's safe.
It is a hit and an RBI. Pettis is 29, still only 1 out now for Mudler. And they're on the corners. Sooners looking for some daylight on that scoreboard. Strike called to Mudler. singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. You mentioned it early in the broadcast, but this guy would be at the top of the surprise list when you talked to Skip Johnson and his coaching staff before the year started. I think they thought they were getting a defensive catcher, a pretty good defensive catcher that knew the Witherspoons but might not hit for much. And he has been fantastic this year. He's the starter behind the plate. Nobody's questioning that. 2-1. And has been a potent left-handed bat.
Big home run in that Oklahoma State series.
Had a 6 RBI game up in Stillwater. Got a base hit last time up, trying to drive in a run here. 2 balls and a strike. 3-1.
And right here, he's just trying to elevate, move that hit spot out in front of the plate, get the barrel to it, drive a deep fly ball, get an insurance run.
Inside corner, good pitch by Hale. And the count is full to Mudler. Isaiah Lane on deck. Actually, Jackson Willits now has moved into the on-deck circle for OU. Here's the payoff. There goes Pettis, and it's ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning, first by Hale. And now Jackson Willits. He has been swinging a hot bat the last couple of games. A 3-hit game Sunday in Lubbock. Singled and doubled last night. And an opportunity to widen the margin here in the bottom of the 6th inning in game 1 of today's doubleheader. Freshman hitting now .250 on the year, 7 home runs.
All since that Stillwater series. Had a 2-homer game on that Friday night, and it just didn't look back from there.
Little bit of a muscle tweak, it looked like Sunday on his last hit in Lubbock. Probably, he started last night, looked fine. He'll probably be at shortstop for game 2 today. There's a strike. That's my guess, unless he's re-aggravated something. I'm guessing they just didn't want him to have to go 18 innings. Nicholas at third, Pettis at second, Mudler at first, 1 out. And strike 2 called on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Hale.
There's some sink to that. Looks like a bowling ball coming up. Hits Castle's mitt hard. Sounds loud, pop.
Slow chopper to second. Can they turn 2? Oh, late flip. Did they get 1? Run scores. They got the out at second, Kemp did. But a run scores to make it 4-1. And now Kemp appears to be banged up a bit. I'm not sure exactly what all went through the young man's head there. Thought about the flip, then changed his mind, then took it himself, and now he's in some pretty obvious pain. Willits will pick up an RBI on the fielder's choice. His 29th run driven in, and let's see if the Baylor shortstop is okay here. It wasn't a very hard hit ball, so not sure if they could have turned 2 or not. But he took the circuitous route to second base. Might have paid for it. Is it his hand?
It's tough to tell. And it looked like he had to change directions quickly to get back to second base for 1.
It looks like his hand. They're going to let him throw. Maybe we can get a look at the replay here. Perhaps there was a collision at second. Mudler, the runner, headed to second. Kemp changed his mind. I don't know.
Maybe a pre-existing, I don't want to say blister, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And John Spikerman, the 7th batter of the inning. Tyreek Kemp. Spike 0 for 2. Takes the breaking ball for a strike. Hale's got a little bit of a Will Karsten look to him on the mound. Just 6'6". I think Karsten we saw last night 6'7", but that big imposing righty.
That breaker over the top is pretty good too.
Fouled out of play makes it 0-2.
That fastball's at 89, but it just feels heavy. Kind of sinking motion to it. Doesn't feel as good coming off the bat.
No balls and 2 strikes to the Sooner leadoff man. Runners on the corners. And he takes a ball outside. Been a long delay here for Kyson Witherspoon. He's sitting on 88 pitches. You would imagine he'll go back out for the 7th inning. One thing to keep in mind is that Oklahoma's going to play a day earlier next week, and then potentially a day earlier, depending on how Skip Johnson rolls out the pitching for the Big 12 tournament the week after that. 1-2 to Spikerman. Poked into left field. Got a chance. It is down. A base hit. And Pettis scores. 5-1 OU. Spike delivers. Just served it into left field.
He did that last night, Toby. One of those ones where he just kind of throws the hands at it. He's athletic. We'll take another look at it. Fastball away. It's almost in the right hand of the batter's box, and you're absolutely right. Just like a waiter serving that thing into left field.
Pettis likes it. A little fist pump. 19th run batted in for Spikerman. 3rd run of the inning for OU. 1st and 2nd inning. First pitch strike. He had the RBI single in the last frame to put Oklahoma in front. You got to win different ways. Last night they just mashed. No home runs, but the Oklahoma bats wouldn't stop on their way to 19 runs. Today, Blake, they've had to execute. Runs have been at a premium in this one. You've seen some good ABs here in the middle innings. Madron goes down swinging, and that'll end the inning. But the Sooners get 3, and as we head to the 7th, it's now 5-1 Oakland. Blake, as the Sooners have pushed 5 across and lead it now 5-1, headed to the 7th inning. I don't think we're expecting too much, other than maybe a few sprinkles today. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. How'd that guy get in? He's in the wrong. Stillwater's north of here, an hour and a half or so. He's in the wrong place.
As boys an OU fan, you do things you love for your family.
Is that what it is? Kyson Witherspoon back out there for his 7th inning of work. He'll face the top of the order, starting with Enzo Apodaca, strike 1 called. Apodaca 0 for 2 with a walk today. Still looking for his first hit of the series. Pop foul. We got another one coming today. The series finale, game 2 of the doubleheader, will be just over an hour after the conclusion of this one. 2 wins today for Oklahoma clinches a share, at least, of the regular season Big 12 title. Strike 3 called, got him looking. Second strikeout for Witherspoon today. And the second toughest player to strike out in the Big 12, Enzo Apodaca, picks up the backwards K.
This is a fastball dotted on the inside corner. Just a weird outing for him.
for Kyson?
Yeah, just seems like he hadn't had his sharpest stuff, and then he'll do that to you. He's given up one run.
Ty Johnson almost hit by a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, so the velo is still fine. Johnson 1 for 3 today. He has scored the lone Baylor run way back in the first. Two and 0. Yeah, he's been the master of getting out of jams today. He hasn't overpowered the Bears, but he's made the big pitch in the big moment. And the defense has helped him out a couple of times. 2-0. Hit hard down the left field line, slicing into the corner. Pettis chasing. That's a fair ball. Ty Johnson into second, and he'll stop there with a one-out double. The 5th hit of the series for Johnson and his 3rd two-bagger.
Yeah, he's swinging a hot bat. Gets a 2-0 fastball here on the outer half of the plate. Efficient with the bat path. Take another look. Yeah, clips it. Just stay fair. Stay fair.
Giving it the Carl Yastrzemski wave. Yeah. He's having a good weekend. Cole Posey now 0 for 3. Grounded to shortstop. First chance for Jackson Willits today. 2 outs. On to third goes Johnson. I got good news if you're a Sooner fan. Out of Orlando. In the 5th inning, UCF has a 4-0 lead over Texas. They are underway now, by the way, in Stillwater. And I've got good news there. Top of the first, Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State 2-0. Fun time of year, isn't it?
Crazy.
Scoreboard watching, figuring out who to root for around the conference and around the country. Who are they penciled in to host regionals, super regionals? I'm listening to every baseball podcast I can consume right now.
You sound like Plank.
Trying to figure it all out. Foul tip. Daniel Altman's been on all 3 at-bats. He doubled in the first, walked in the 3rd and 5th. Kyson Witherspoon has not figured out how to get him out yet today.
You know, 6 more games, we knew it was going to be crazy, but it is, the pack in the middle is just, who knows?
Of the Big 12?
Yes.
A good-looking pitch there, 2-1. Kyson Witherspoon asks home plate umpire Matthew Anderson, where did that miss? No, there's going to be, it's going to be fun in Arlington because everybody's playing for something. I mean, they always are. 3-1, but you've got a gaggle of teams that need to play well to get in, and then you've got some teams like Oklahoma State, who are playing for regional hosting or maybe super regional hosting. We got a ton of Sooner fans down in the Metroplex, so make sure you got your tickets. Big 12 tournament about a week and a half away. Globe Life. 3 balls and a strike to Altman. He's already walked him twice today. Full count. 100 pitches now for Kyson Witherspoon. 59 strikes. Likely his final inning of work. Can he end it with a strikeout? Here's the payoff. Got him. Looking. Hitting over. And he strands yet another Bear.
Auto Group, OU Health, OG&E, and Coca-Cola.
Oklahoma baseball brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, Sooners in front 5-1. Game 2 of this weekend Big 12 series. Game 1 of a doubleheader today. Easton Carmichael sends it up the elevator chute. Kemp at shortstop calling for it, and there's 1 out. probably the day is done for Oklahoma starter Kyson Witherspoon. Boy, he just kind of muscled this one today, didn't he?
Just a gutsy performance. Not his normal high strikeout day, just 3. And it was all in the fastball, Toby. That's what was impressive to me. Seemed like he would get in a groove where he'd get 2 quick outs and then throw 3 straight balls. Didn't get the next guy out.
Snyder takes a strike, a single and a walk for Michael today. Upstairs. See if we can get Oklahoma to tip their hand as to who the Game 3 starter is going to be. Have you heard anything?
Saw Grant
that
Stevens.
You feel comfortable sharing over the television airwaves? 3-1.
I don't mind an opener with Carson Atwood again. He walked today, by the way.
You mean
he graduated?
Yeah. He actually went over. It was at the Lloyd Noble Center.
Yeah.
Across the street. Another pop-up. Carbon copy. Kemp trying to find it in the clouds. 2 outs.
I say that because a lot of these guys don't get to actually go and walk. I didn't get to do it, so I think that's pretty cool that he got to go attend the ceremony. He said he almost got hosed. They were trying to put him at the front of the line so he could get over here, and they just went the backwards way where he told him to set, and he ended up being the last guy called and walking.
Oh my goodness!
So he was sweating a little bit when he walked into the park today.
Well, you got to start him in Game 3. It's too good of a storyline, right?
I like it.
Gets his diploma in the morning, starts the game that could get you your first Big 12 title in the evening. Line drive, base hit, McKenzie with 2 outs. Eighth Sooner knock. First for McKenzie. Jackson Nicholas now. There you see some. We're wondering about the right hand of Tyreek Kemp last inning. He got it taped up here in the bottom of the 7th. Like that right index finger is hiding it from us now.
Hey, that's the right trigger finger on the PS5. The top one, the R1 button.
Is that right? I'm going to trust you on that. Nicholas doubled and scored last time up, 1 for 3. We have still yet to see a home run hit in the series, either way. That's odd anywhere, but especially at Eldale Mitchell Park. Two and 0. Rocketed. But it'll stay in the yard. Ty Johnson is there. And the inning is over. Sooners get a hit and leave a man. We head to the 8th, 5-1 OU.
Copy and paste there to Altman. It was good. Kind of lull you to sleep as far as missing in and out of the zone, and then you come back, throw a wipeout slider and get you out.
Dapping him up down in the bullpen. And that means a new guy on the mound for OU here in the 8th inning. It's the veteran lefty, Carter Campbell.
Yeah, senior out of Keller, Texas, 6'2", 180. Last time we saw him was at Texas Tech, inning in the 3rd, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He struck out, gave up a double in that outing. 3-0 on the year, 6.16 ERA, 30 2/3 innings pitched. He's got 27 strikeouts to just 15 walks.
87th career appearance for Carter Campbell, 3rd most in OU history. He's 9 away from tying Jared McAuliffe for most. And going to take a postseason run to get him there, but it's possible. Skip Johnson uses him a lot, obviously. He'll start by facing Hunter Toplansky, who turns around and bats from the right side for the first time today. 0 for 3. 5-1 Sooners. And the first pitch is fouled off to the right. Sooners won the opener here last night, 19-7. It's been a much different game in game 2. Laced down the left field line, but slicing into the Baylor bullpen for strike 2. Toplansky, Mazak, and Castle due up, although it looks like pinch hitter Harrison Cayley has moved into the on-deck circle for the Bears. Outside, 1-2. We have been given the Game 3 starter, or opener. Jamie Hitt will get the starting Game 3 for Oklahoma tonight. Rounded right back up the middle. Backhand stop. Nicholas. Throw. Got it. Had him shaded up the middle, and that paid off.
It's a well-timed backhand up the middle. Knows he could probably get around that, but it's just easier for him to set his feet and throw from that up the middle position. See this? Yeah, smooth, quick transition. Strike over to first base.
Cayley had a pinch hit single last night. .333 average on the year. And he takes the first pitch high and outside. Oklahoma seeking their 20th conference victory. Pitch is low. The all-time Oklahoma record for conference victories, by the way, is 21. That's the most conference games they've ever won in a single season, and that happened twice, back in 1994 and 1995. Strike called, which, if you're a Sooner fan, should bring up very good feelings, because both of those years they ended in Omaha, and in 1994 they ended as the national champion. That ball's hit hard into left, but Kendall Bettis runs fast, and there's 2 outs. They've certainly got a shot at that mark. They could get 20 today. They've still got 4 conference games to go. Cayley put a good swing on that one.
Yeah, KP timed it up with his feet as the pitch is crossing the plate. That's what makes you get good jumps. You kind of saw that the first of that replay. One of the better outfields in the Big 12 for sure, if not the best.
Yeah, I think you can expand that to say in America. Turns on that and pulls it foul. I mean, Pettis' highlight reel in left goes for days in his career. Over walls, flipping into bullpens, diving catches. Spikerman. I mean, all you have to say is Spikerman, right?
You're right.
Madron is a tremendous right fielder, the least heralded of the 3, but gets to everything. And then you got Jason Walk coming off the bench.
Deep, right?
Might be the fastest of all of them, although Spike would fight you for that. Here's the 0-2. Hit hard again, but Castle's been early on everything so far. They cover a ton of ground out there. A ton of ground. Two outs, nobody on. Campbell, the 1-2 to Castle. Off the end of the bat to first. Easy play for Michael Snyder. Inning over. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for Oklahoma to pick up some insurance. I don't know. I don't even know. Bottom 8, 5-1 OU. Sooners trying to take the series. They're 3 outs away, looking to pad the lead here in the bottom of the 8th as Pettis takes a strike. Still Patrick Hale on the mound for Baylor. Single, an RBI, and a walk so far in this one for Pettis. Just a bit upstairs, 1-1. Game in. Oklahoma looking for a 5th consecutive Big 12 victory. Looking to send Baylor to a 10th straight Big 12 loss. And looking to set the table to make a run at a 6th Big 12 sweep tonight, if they could get one more. Here's the 3-1. It is low. 3rd time in the last 4 innings, Baylor has walked the Sooner leadoff man. A win would also reduce the Oklahoma Magic number for winning the Big 12 outright to 2. And they would play tonight for at least a share of the regular season title for the first time in program history. They got to finish this off. They lead 5-1 in the 8th, strike 1 to Mudler. Sooners have won the Big 12 tournament 3 times, 1997, 2013, and most recently in 2022, but they have never won the regular season Big 12 championship. There's a strike, and I don't need to tell any of you, but I will anyway. This is their last chance. Would be a pretty sweet way to head out the door if you're a Sooner fan. 1-2. But work to do still. And plenty of chasers who wear orange if you stumble. Colin McKinney will get the start for Baylor in the nightcap. The right-handers 3-5 on the year for the Bears. 1-2 to Mudler, hit hard into right. Second hit for Mudler. 2 on, nobody out. That's hit number 10 for Oklahoma. They just keep coming at you.
It's a good adjustment by Mudler. That's a breaking ball down. See his front foot land, his hands kind of pause, stays in his legs, drives the ball.
How about this? Oklahoma's got 10 hits today, and every guy in the order has one. Mudler's got 2. I'll qualify that by saying the 9-hole has one, because Lane and Willits have both batted in the 9-hole. Spikerman has a single. Madron's got a single. Carmichael a single. Schneider a single. McKenzie a single. Nicholas a double. Pettis a single. Mudler 2 hits. And Lane in the 9-hole has 1.
That's how you spread it out.
Yep. Jackson Willits now. Potential sacrifice situation here. He drove in a run when he hit him to a fielder's choice last time up, which was his first at-bat of the game. Top of the order, John Spikerman waiting on deck. First pitch, squares. Takes it high. We will know the conclusion of the other games around the league. There's a good bunt, third base line. Toplansky better hurry. He bare hands it and got him. Willits thinks he's safe. And Skip Johnson's gonna have him take another look at this. Although it's the 8th inning, so this is up to the umpires. And it looks like they're going to come together and give it another gander here.
That's a really good bunt by Willits. Toplansky, good job charging hard. Quick throw over to first base. It's close over there.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this over here on the TV side, but this will all be different next year. How the replay works in the SEC compared to the Big 12.
I mentioned that last night. Don't they have a review station?
Yeah, there's a Birmingham, Alabama. There's a headquarters where all the reviews are in conference games. First, let's take a look at this. Gonna need to slow it down to know for sure. This might tell us. Ooh. Skip, this is gonna, I think, give them bases loaded, nobody out. But yeah, Birmingham is the headquarters for the SEC replay system. So when a call is challenged, the umpires on the field just stay on the field. Birmingham looks at it again, and then they tell the umpires in an earpiece that the crew chief wears what the call is, and he also wears a microphone to announce.
You're going to be so happy, aren't you?
To the crowd. I'm losing sleep at night. I'm so excited.
You're so excited for
the
that.
umpire explaining the call to the crowd and to the broadcast. What do we got here? The call is safe. Bases loaded, nobody out. One single for Willits. It's similar to
the MLB.
Omaha, MLB, yeah, MLB.
Omaha's the same way, though?
Well, they wear the microphone.
Okay.
If I remember correctly from 2 years ago, the umpires did have a little station there that they went themselves, looked at the replays in Omaha. All right, so here we go. Can crack it open here. Bases loaded, nobody out for Spike. He's 1 for 3. Got him an RBI single into left field last time up. Bears bring the infield in. And he takes it low for a ball. Got to give this young man a ton of credit for the way he has come back here late in the season after hamate bone surgery on his hand, forced him to miss 20 games, middle of the year. Strike called. He's draft eligible, Blake. He's highly regarded. Would have been very easy for him to just kind of say, you know what, I'm going to make a career decision here, business decision. Slow play this thing, make sure I'm healthy for the draft. 2-1. But he did everything possible to get back as quickly as possible, and he stayed sharp. I mean, he was right back to being Spike again as soon as he could swing a bat again.
Yeah, no slump at all, just right back into his work.
He was on every road trip. He was the first guy to high-five the guys running off the field. I mean, he is fully invested in this season and this team, despite a very promising future himself. And we don't always see that out of college athletes these days, across the board in all sports. 2-2. Long fly ball to right. Did he get it all? Apodaca, track, ball. That's a grand slam. John Spikerman empties them. And Oklahoma's got full control of game 2. They lead it 9-1. Wow.
It's 23 RBIs on the year. He did this before early in the year. Fastball, middle. That's just a sweet swing. My goodness. The ball's demolished.
Third home run of the year, second in the last 3 games. He got one in Lubbock on Sunday. And that one might very well move Oklahoma to within 1 game of a share, 2 games of the outright Big 12 title. Still nobody out. Bryce Madron 1 for 4. High fly ball to right. Apodaca into the corner, and it is foul. The Spikerman homer, also the first home run of the weekend for either team, and a very nicely dressed man is going to go give the foul ball to a youngster. Couldn't be more excited. A grand slam. John Spikerman. We will know later tonight when we come back for game 2. We will know the results in Stillwater and Orlando and know exactly what Oklahoma will be playing for later tonight as Madron draws a walk. The first 5 have reached in the 8th here for OU. It could be a big night. If you are a Sooner fan and you are in the Norman or Oklahoma City vicinity, I don't know if you were planning to come to L. Dale Mitchell Park tonight or not, but you might oughta. A chance to celebrate a little bit later on, perhaps. Here's Carmichael. And Hale misses outside a ball. Walk single, bunt single, grand slam walk so far for OU in the bottom of the 8th.
That was a 2-run swing right there.
Carmichael 1 for 4, his one hit back in the first inning. A single into left field. Popped foul, that'll get over the net.
Maybe he's just holding it for him.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that's the case. I'm gonna assume that the next thing we didn't see was him giving it to a child. 1-2. Grounded to short. Could be 2. Flip to second for 1. Throw to first is a double play. 6-4-3. And there's 2 outs for Michael Snyder. This would fall into the tailor-made category right here.
Absolutely. Hard hit ground ball right at Kemp. Textbook. Show him the ball early. Good transfer. 2 outs.
There's Big Mike. Single and a walk in his 4 plate appearances. And this 4-run bottom of the 8th may also could perhaps affect how Skip Johnson uses his pitching. I don't know if Malachi Witherspoon was in the plans or not for the 9th inning when they had a 5-1 lead, but he certainly won't be now, you would think, which means OU will go into game 3 with their closer unused. Could be big. Snyder pops it up on the infield. Toplansky at third, and that'll end the inning. But John Spikerman barks loud. A grand slam. And we head to the 9th. 9-1 Sooners. R.A. Jennings with the double off the wall in right. That scored Jada Coleman. And the Sooners strike first. They have a 2-0 lead headed to the bottom of the first inning. Big 12 softball championship game. 2-0 OU, bottom 1. Here, Oklahoma leading Baylor 9-1. Top of the 9th. And Tyreek Kemp scares extra bases, but hits it foul down the left field line. It's 0-2. Carter Campbell still on the mound for the Sooners, trying to finish off game 2.
How about Atwood scaling the wall to go get that foul ball? Did you see that?
Looked like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Kemp 1 for 3 today. Looks at one just under the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of updates for you baseball-wise around the Big 12 after this pitch. There's a base hit again for Kemp the other way, his second knock. Leadoff man aboard. That is hit number 6 for the Bears. 7, excuse me. In Orlando, top of the 7th inning. UCF still leading Texas. It's now 4-2. And in Stillwater, they've gone to the 3rd inning. OSU and Texas Tech tied 2-2. Cowboys and Longhorns both 3 games back at start of day. That pitch is low. West Virginia 4 games back. They're underway. Bottom of the 3rd inning, no score against Kansas State in Morgantown. Caleb Bergman, fly ball center field. Spikerman, 1 out. At the conclusion of this one, we're told there will be about an hour and 10 minutes before the start of the finale. So, you know, depending on how long this top of the 9th goes, somewhere in the 8 o'clock range. That's a little longer than normal because we will have some senior day ceremonies between games. This is tonight going to be the final home game of the regular season for Oklahoma. And they hope to be back here in a couple of weeks for regional play. Pinch hitter for Apodaca could be 2. Throw to second for 1, relay to first, and you can ring it up. Win column Sooners. Game over. Oklahoma. Here's a look at your Taco Mayo final stats.
Yeah, John Spikerman 2 for 4 with a single and a grand slam in the 8th. Ty Johnson, another good game, 2 for 4, a single and a double, scored a run. Ethan Culver was good. He wasn't overpowering, but spotted up well. 7 strong innings, gutsy performance, 6 hits, 1 earned run, walked 4, struck out 3.
Witherspoon picks up his 6th victory of the season. There will be another one tonight coming up at around 8 o'clock. Game 3 right here on ESPN Plus. Oklahoma will be seeking their 6th Big 12 series sweep and will be seeking at least a share of the regular season Big 12 title. Well, Baylor early, but Oklahoma late. 9 unanswered runs from the 5th inning on. And John Spikerman had the salami that sealed it. Oklahoma stays hot. They'll play for a piece of the title tonight. We'll see you in about an hour on ESPN Plus.